Now, regardless of what sort of fish you keep, it's really important to understand what a healthy fish looks like, because you need to understand how much to feed your fish. So I'll just give you some rules on how to feed your fish. Now, these specimens that you're looking at the moment are ridiculously skinny. Under most circumstances, it is important to make sure that your fish do not have pitted bellies or pitted behind the head like these guys are. These are skinny fish. These fish need to be fattened up, but that doesn't mean that you want your fish to be fat. So therefore, if they have big enlarged bellies, then you've got to cut the food down. But if they've got nice healthy bellies, then everything's going good. So number one is figure out what your fish should look like. Then number two is come up with a feeding routine. It is important to make sure you feed foods that your fish actually eat. I tend to feed New Life Spectrum pellets. Occasionally I'll give them a bit of high quality frozen food for something to do. But then the question becomes how often to feed and how much to feed. So the idea is you come up with a theory. I work off the 30-second rule. So what I basically do is feed my fish what they eat in 30 seconds. If there's one speck of food left after 30 seconds, then I usually consider that to be too much, and so I often won't feed the next day. If I have all the food completely gone in 30 seconds, I'll tend to feed a little bit more. But that's only a guide, and no tank is the same. So I tend to feed about 5 times a week, so not quite every day, but you must understand that's only a guide and you must be responsible for your actual fish. So over a period of say 3 to 4 weeks, then you will notice a slight decrease in the fish's weight. The bellies, they might lose a little bit of belly if you're not feeding them enough, and you might see them gain a little bit of belly if they're actually feeding too much. So fish like this, they're meant to be fat. Fish like that are not meant to be that skinny. So understanding what the fish are supposed to look like is very important, and then altering your feeding habit every month. So the biological lag usually occurs about every 3 weeks. So therefore, if you change something now, you may see some sort of change in about 3 weeks' time. So bear that in mind. And then over time, you do have to slowly decrease or increase either the amount of food that's feeding, or for some species of fish it can be beneficial to actually increase how often you feed. So fish like discus or anthias that only feed on very small amounts of food at a time may benefit from being fed more often than 5 times a week. But as a general guide, I usually start with what they can eat in 30 seconds 5 times a week, and under most circumstances I find that works very well, and if it doesn't, then I just alter it. It might be 45 seconds, it may be 20 seconds. And you never govern your results by the fattest fish, because there's always a fatty, and you never govern your results by the skinniest fish, because there's always a skinny. Anyway, put a comment down the bottom and share your experience.